Hello everybody, my name is Rolak, and welcome back to Pokemon Emerald. This is the second video that we're going to be doing post-commentary on, so just be aware of that. In the last episode, we did a little bit of exploring in some of the southern routes of Lily Cove, exploring the very long route, doing a lot of training, nothing too serious. In today's episode, we are going to be exploring the outer edges of Mount Pyre, ascending the mountain and seeing if we can find where Team Aqua is. If they are up here. Skill swap is a move that allows you to swap the ability with another Pokemon. It can be very handy to be used on certain Pokemon that don't have certain weaknesses with, say, like Shedinja, if you really want to get tricky with Wonder Guard. Pretty sure can Sableye learn it? Because if you do it like that, then that Pokemon has 0 weaknesses. I doubt it's able to because of that. But it'd be pretty funny if it was. There is a new Pokemon that you can encounter in this area. It's just not until a bit later. If I can find it. But for the most part, we're going to be fighting certain grunts. Mostly just Aqua grunts, by the looks of it. In fact, we were able to sneak past this guy real quick. Just do a little bit more exploring. Yeah, on the summit you can find a new Pokemon. Otherwise, on the exterior you can find Shuppet, Vulpix, Pelipper, and Meditite. Not bad. So I guess while we're fighting this grunt, we're actually able to go over that new Pokemon. So on the summit, you're able to find Pokemon such as Shuppet, Duskull, and Chime Echo. Now, Chime Echo is the new Pokemon that we can encounter here. Chime Echo is not bad. It could be a lot better. It's a pure Psychic type with the ability to levitate, which isn't a bad combo. It's just, at this point, you kind of think is like, well, if you don't have a Psychic type at this point, is Chime Echo worth it? And the straight answer is no, because there are just far better Psychic types in the game. But Chime Echo, I mean, while it was decently buffed in this game, in this ROM hack, it's not certainly the best. The only thing it's really got going for it is that it's got considerably decent bulk for a Psychic type, and with the ability to levitate, you're able to avoid some more moves. But it's got decent defense, good special attack, and decent enough health to back up its bulk. But I honestly can't see a situation where you would rather have a Chime Echo than, say, like a Gardevoir at this point. Or even a Grumpig. Grumpig, I think, has better special offensive capabilities, or just a little bit more bulky, but I don't recommend Chime Echo. There are just better Psychic-type Pokemon to have. Hell, you can get Abra in this game, and it can evolve normally with just leveling up into Alakazam. And then you got a really good Psychic type on your team. So in reality, Chime Echo is fully situational, and if you really want to just get a unique Pokemon for your team, that's really all I can honestly tell you about Chime Echo. It's really not anything super fantastic. You got some more grunts to be taken care of. It's at this point that we get to the point where some grunts just more or less just have one Pokemon, but it's really high level and it's fully evolved. And that's not usually a great combo most of the time, because it just ends up kind of redundant in fights like this, so yeah. This guy is somehow mistaking us for Team Aqua, which doesn't make any sense as our color scheme is completely different. Maybe in Ruby and Sapphire you might be mistaken for a Team Magma grunt because they're wearing all red, so... And there's a Magma Grunt over there that you can't talk to. I'm curious if you enable, like, walk through walls cheat, if you can actually talk to that guy. And if so, what does he say? Not sure if they would have programmed that in the base Emerald, but... But who knows, maybe they inputted some special little Easter egg for us in this game. Who knows? Still clinging to your ideals, Archie. Your pursuit of Kyogre will only bring devastation. With the red orb in my possession, Groudon will awaken and bring true balance. Think of the farmland we could reclaim. Farmland that could feed millions. Your short-sightedness blinds you, Archie.
You're the one who's blind, Maxie. Kyogre is the key to healing in this world. The blue orb will awaken it, and droughts will end. Water will revive the barren lands, quenching the thirst of countless lives. You fail to comprehend the consequences of your actions. Awakening Kyogre will bring ruin. Only Groudon can reclaim the land and secure prosperity. You would drown the world in chaos. Enough of your self-righteousness. The world needs water to survive. With Kyogre's help, deserts will bloom and famine will end. You can't see that because you're blinded by your obsession with land. I have indulged your ignorance long enough. There's no reasoning with someone so deluded. I have work to do. Real work. Farewell, Archie. Maxie, curse him! He refuses to see reason. No matter. With the blue orb, Kyogre will awaken, and I will prove him wrong. Time is of the essence. I must act quickly. You! I can't afford any delays now. Every second counts in awakening Kyogre. If you're here to interfere, then we'll deal with you swiftly. Prepare yourself.
Alright, a double battle with, well, I guess multi-battle in this situation, against Archie, and I think this is pretty, oddly enough, this is the first instance that we're facing Matt. One of the Aqua admins, similar to Shelly. Yeah. First instance of encountering Matt, and you find him in a double battle. No introduction whatsoever. Alright, so, Matt has the Electrode, whereas Archie has the Wailord. The Electrode is level 36 with the moves Rain Dance, Thunder, Mirror Coat, Light Screen, whereas Wailord is level 38 with the moves Rest, Sleep Talk, Surf, and Whirlpool. That Electrode is going to be bad, so mainly want to take that thing out first, as it's going to set up Rain Dance, Light Screen, and just make everything kind of just a really bad time. Or you can completely focus Archie because he has some more Pokemon that are just easier to take care of. And he's next going to be sending out his Sharpedo, his strongest Pokemon. Level 39 with the moves Slash, Crunch, Waterfall, and Earthquake. A really good moveset countering Electric types of that Earthquake. It is holding a Slack Berry, which I do believe... What the hell does that thing do? It, like, increases speed or something. I never checked if Sableye can learn Skill Swap. Increases the speed when it drops to quarter. Yeah. It's a decent move, but if you take it out in one hit like that, it's not going to do much. Archie's last Pokemon is going to be Crobat. Crobat has the moves, with level 38, with the moves Confuse Ray, Sludge Bomb, Toxic, and Fly. Watch out for that Toxic, because with this thing being fast, it's going to probably poison most of your Pokemon. And probably confuse it, so it's going to be a little bit annoying with that Confuse Ray. There goes the Light Screen. Really, you should take out Electrode first, because that thing is just going to set up so many things that are just going to be so annoying. The slight downside to it is that it is going to have static, as far as I'm aware, so you might need to be just a little bit careful. Now let's see, not a lot of Pokemon can learn Skill Swap. Interesting, it's mostly Psychic types. But Sableye can learn it. So if you Skill Swap Sableye with... That is the right move I'm thinking of, right? Yeah. So if you have a Sableye and a Shedinja, and you do Skill Swap, that thing is invincible. You really want to go for that strategy. No, wait. They thought of it. Sableye can only learn... Skill Swap in like Generation 9. Oh man, they thought about it. Same with Spiritomb. The only time where they would teach the Pokemon Skill Swap is the generation where I think Shedinja isn't even available. Which is hilarious. This would be a fantastic time for Terabyte to have Lightning Rod, which I'm considering might just be overall the better ability. But there's nothing wrong with Static. Completely nothing. Alright, now for Matt's second Pokemon, finally. He's going to be sending out his Crawdot, level 36. It's got the moves Crab Hammer, Knock Off, Ice Beam, and Rock Smash. Again, a really good move, taking into effect of that good physical offense. Knock Off, I think, is still decently nerfed in this. Is that correct? Or did they buff Knock Off? They did. It's 50 power instead of 20. Ooh. It's really good. They also buff Thief. Interesting. And I think they also buff Crab Hammer. Yeah, Crab Hammer is 110 base power. That's, wow. Okay, and this last Pokemon is going to be Huntail. Huntail is level 37, holding a Citrus Berry, with the moves Body Slam, Curse, Crunch, and Surf. That is a interesting moveset there. Body Slam, Curse. No real point in setting up when it's just going to go down one hit. There we go.
Don't think it changes anything. We'll still awaken Kyogre. So you think you won? This changes nothing. Kyogre will be ours.
Who are you?
Team Magma's magic got ahead of us, but we also got what we wanted. The blue orb preserved at Mount Pyre. I, Archie, now have it in my possession. Now we can bring our ultimate objection to fruition. Okay, team, we're pulling out.
Oh no, this cannot happen. Not only the red orb, but even the blue orb has been taken. Those orbs hold the key to keeping Kyogre and Groudon at peace. What are those men trying to do with the two orbs? Oh yes, was it Team Magma who left first? Well, in their haste, they left this behind. Couldn't imagine what exactly it could be. I would like you to have it. Perhaps it'll be useful in some way. Obtain the Magma Emblem. Blue orb and red orb taken by those people. They must not be misused. I feel something terrible will happen.
Mount Pyre is where we calm the spirits of Pokemon that have passed on. This is a high place where one can see of all of Hoenn. Disembodied spirits of Pokemon must find solace here. It is coincidence that you are here. Will you hear out my tale, a tale long told in the Hoenn region? It happened long, long ago. The world was racked by a ferocious clash between the Pokemon of the land and the Pokemon of the sea. The Pokemon of the land raised mountains and created continents. The Pokemon of the sea raised huge waves and carved out oceans. Their fierce duel raged without end. The world was engulfed in massive infernos and vicious storms. The blue orb and the red orb brought an end to the calamity. Light poured from the two orbs and becalmed the enraged adversaries. The pair, made docile, dove deep into the sea where they disappeared.
That's the story. That's some Hoenn backstory for you. So yeah, a few little grass spots here and there to encounter some new Pokemon. Now, with that being said, with our new key item acquired, might be wondering where this goes. Well, if we head all the way back, well, you might remember way back when we encountered that one Magma Grunt on the Jagged Pass, just heading down. And now that we have some form of access to a Magma location, we are actually able to infiltrate their headquarters. And yes, of course, the team labeled Magma has their hideout based in like a volcano. It just makes sense. Molter shaking in response to the Magma Emblem. And there we go. The Magma Hideout. I don't think there's any new Pokemon that you can find here. Just Geodude, Torkoal, and Graveler. That is it throughout the entirety of the Magma Hideout. So, unfortunately, despite being a large cave, it's also probably prone to a lot of Pokemon. So repels are recommended. It's also recommended you teach a Pokemon Strength, as I have currently forgotten. I find it really funny that we're using our Metang as a HM slave, essentially. It's not my fault that it just happens to learn every single HM. Well, most of the HMs. The Magma Hideout is fairly extensive, but it's not too complicated to navigate. And we get a little bonus fight here. Because... Is this the first time we face her? Yeah, he dared to intrude on Team Magma's hideout. He must either be incredibly brave or utterly foolish to challenge me here. This is an added fight into this ROM hack, because in Base Emerald, you never fight Team Magma admin Courtney. For some reason, she is completely absent from the entirety of Emerald. I don't know why, she just is. They just made that strange decision. Courtney is going to be sending out a Murkrow, level 37, with the moves Wing Attack, Feint Attack, Icy Wind, and Steel Wing. Interesting moveset. Probably not going to do anything because we're probably just going to annihilate with Ice Beam. Yep. Yeah, originally Courtney would just have, basic, just like probably a Numel, Slugma, maybe a Camerupt. But in this game, they did give her some unique Pokemon. Such as her main Pokemon, Ninetales. Ninetales is going to be level 38 with the moves Flamethrower, Sunny Day, Solar Beam, and Shadow Ball. Pretty good move set, especially if you can get Sunny Day off, because that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass with the Solar Beam and whatnot. And as well as just, you know, negating the effects of Water-type moves for the most part. Still deal some decent damage. Ninetales is decently good in the bulk defense department, but a hit with Solar Beam is going to hurt still, so there's still that. Well, not too much. It's better off just the setup for the rest of your team to have something, but guess we can't have that. And next she's going to be sending out a Claydol. Claydol is level 37, the moves Psychic, Ancient Power, Light Screen, and Reflect. So take it out decently fast, otherwise you're going to get some good resistances be put against you. Thankfully, with Typhon's Dark typing, Crunch should do it in just fine. Doubly weak, same type attack bonus, boosted with the black glasses. Yeah, it's done. Next up is Roselia. Roselia, level 37, the moves Petal Dance, Sludge Bomb, Grass Whistle, and Synthesis. It is holding a Person Berry, which I do believe cures confusion, if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, so that is why, yeah. So it can cure itself of confusion after Petal Dance. But since we're just going to be one-shotting it anyways, there's, yeah. There we go. There goes Courtney. Stronger than expected. Team Magma will not be so easily stopped. Managed to get past me, but don't think you're done. Yeah, Courtney is just straight up at the front and center, so yeah. So for the remainder of the hideout, we're mostly just going to be fighting magma grunts and whatnot. Oh, this guy's a secret if we beat him. Oh boy. But he's obviously not going to tell us. So I'm actually going to go over something I forgot to mention in the last episode. So I mentioned the Lax Incense in the last episode being able to be used with Wobbuffet to guarantee a why not via egg. But I forgot to mention the Sea Incense. So the Sea Incense, typical in similarity to the Lax Incense, if you equip this onto a Marill or a Azumarill, this will then allow you to produce Azurill eggs. Yeah, considering for most of the incenses, I'm pretty sure for most of the incenses, if not every single incense, it is used to acquire the baby form. Okay, now we're going to do it through. Okay, so yeah, the incenses are used to acquire the baby forms of Pokemon that were introduced into later generations. So for Generation 3, it's the Lax and Sea Incense. For Generation 4, it is the Rose, Pure, Rock, and Odd Incense, as far as I'm aware. And maybe also the Luck Incense? And the Full Incense. Yeah, no, there were 6 introduced in Generation 4. Probably because there were just so many baby Pokemon introduced in that generation. I did not even take into effect that there were that many. What does the Full Incense do? That's for Snorlax. As far as I'm aware, I think so. Yeah. Luckily, a large majority of the incense items are very similar to other items, so they have their uses outside of breeding. For example, the Sea Incense, that increases Water-type moves similar to the Mystic Water. The Lax Incense, it lowers accuracy, similar to the Bright Powder. Every other one of the incenses have a similar effect of boosting certain moves or just having another different effect to them. So if you're not planning on breeding, you can still use them to some advantage. And I'll be going over the incenses in Generation 4 once we get to that, because apparently they introduced fucking 6 new baby Pokemon in that generation, which I did not even really recall. It's such a weird thing, too, because, like, normally you would think they would just update the Pokemon to be able to just make the baby Pokemon eggs. But no, you gotta place a whole special incense on them. Which is even weird because they didn't do that for Generation 2 for all those new Pokemon. So, yeah, I'm not sure what they were thinking. Because in Generation 2, well, I guess Generation 2 also introduced breeding. So, in some sense of the way, they kind of just program those Pokemon to have those Pokemon pop up when you breed them. But you don't need any special item to do so. So it makes me wonder as to why they couldn't just slightly reprogram the Pokemon to breed normally. It says that it was it Generation 9? Generation 9 is when they just made those Pokemon able to breed normally with those Pokemon. Produce those Pokemon normally via breeding. But if it took them, like, that long, it really... I don't know. It's weird. Probably why they stopped introducing baby Pokemon past Generation 4, because I don't think past Generation 4 there was like one other baby Pokemon. As far as I could recall. Yeah. Just one other baby Pokemon, nothing too serious. Baby Pokemon, in their own sense of the word, is just weird as well. Well, it's weird in the sense that you can't acquire these Pokemon. Usually, you can't acquire these Pokemon normally through, like, just, like, basic gameplay encounters. For example, Elekid, you can't find Elekid anywhere from Gold, Silver, all the way to Leaf Green. You can't find that Pokemon anywhere in the wild. But come around Generation 4, you're able to actually encounter them somewhat in the wild. Actually, Generation 5 is the first time they actually made it possible to just encounter Elekid normally in the wild without any use of without the use of any additional upgrades or anything. Acquired Flamethrower there, which is a really good fire-type move. Unfortunately, not a single one of our Pokemon can learn it, so we're kind of SOL in that department. I don't think any of our Pokemon can learn any fire-type moves, which is very disappointing. On the upside, we do have Pokemon that can learn moves that do counteract against fire's strengths. Like the types that fire is strong against. Grass, we got Gulliver and Nippy. Ice, we have Alpha. What is it? Ice, Grass. Is that it? No, Bug. Bug's also countered by Gulliver, so that's good. Is it really just... Am I stupid? Fire is really just weak to... is super effective against those three types? I do not pay attention to things. Steel. Steel's kind of a problem we're kind of facing. Who do we have that can go against Steel? Well, if we teach Rock Smash to Alpha there, we also have Dig on Gex at the current moment. I'm not too sure if we'll keep that or not. Once we get the TM for Earthquake, we will solve that problem fully. We don't have to worry about it once we're at that point. Hopefully we get to that point soon, because I'm really sick and tired of having to fight Steel-type Pokemon. Could I have gotten, like, a Fire-type for this team? Possibly, yes. Hey, one of our guys was freaking out about a Magma emblem. Was it you who found it? Maybe. Well, technically, we didn't find it. An old lady found it because one of your guys was stupid enough to drop an emblem. But, nah, that's... What was I trying to say? Could I have used a fire type for this team? Yes. Numel was kind of given to you early on via trade, and you could have gotten a fire type that early. But I didn't want to use it for whatever reason. I don't know why. Would have been immensely easier against Watson? Possibly. Could I have some immensely easier time against certain other Pokemon? Possibly, yes. But I wanted to use the Pokemon that I have on my team. Yeah, Numel probably would have been really good in the gym, actually, because it's fire ground type. And that ground type would have been really helpful. Although I don't know if it learned any decent moves leveling up that could counteract electro types. Possibly, possibly not. I never really look into that stuff more often than not. I kind of just go with the flow with the move pools. So for the most part, I'm kind of just going off on instinct more often than not. Let's see, what does Numel learn? If I can find the damn thing. This is not the right... There it is. Numel can learn Mud Slap, Magnitude, and that's it. If you want to get appropriately leveled to Watson's levels. Because what, Watson's level... what, like mid-20s? 25 is his highest level Pokemon. And at that point, Numel would learn Magnitude, so yeah, probably Numel. But then again, you gotta watch out for that Chinchou he's got. That Bubble Beam, because that will instantly annihilate your Numel. No doubts about it. Alternatively, you could also get... Can you actually get Slugma? I don't think you can. Earlier than that. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not too sure. So we're not going to be getting through the entirety of the Magma Hideout. Oh, this NPC is hilarious. We're not going to get through the entirety of the Magma Hideout, but... What did I do to deserve this guard posting? My left ear is burning up! It really makes you wonder... It's like... It's really weird considering that, like, the outfits for Magma and Aqua would make more sense if they were swapped. Because when you really think about it, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. People that are working in very high temperature areas with magma, lava, and all that are wearing sweaters. If you look at the actual official art for the Team Magma, like in the current designs from like Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, those outfits are incorporating full like on just sweaters for some reason. Like, it's not even subtle. They're wearing full sweater gear. It's very, I don't know. Yeah, he's getting heat exhaustion. You think it's odd that we're wearing hoods in this magma filled volcano? It's like hoods, shorts, it's like a tank top, shorts, and a hood. Just that by itself is a decent enough outfit. But they put weird like socks and like sweaters. I don't know. But we're going to end this episode here, and we're going to continue on with actual proper commentary in the next episode. So I will see you guys next time.